Good morning student. Today I Purnima welcome you to my class and we are going to do a new lesson, that is tea from Assam. So student, this is the third part of the chapter Glimpses of India. So first part we have done A Baker from Goa. Second we have done Cork, written by Lokesh Abrol. Tea from A Baker from Goa was written by Lucilio Rodriguez. And now we are going to do the third part of Glimpses of India, that is chapter number 7. And the name of the topic is Tea from India by Arup Kumar Datta. So I would like to discuss you something about the author. Anup Kumar Datta was born in 1946 at Zorhat in Assam. So children, this is written by Arup Kumar Datta. The whole lesson, A Tea from Assam, is written by Arup Kumar Datta. Arup Kumar Datta. He was born in 1946 at Zorhat in Assam. He was educated at Savar and at Delhi University. He served as a professor in English. He served as a professor in English for many years at ZB College, Zorhat in Assam. His published work, The Adventures Story, so these were his published work, The Adventure Stories in 1978. So this was the writer which I am writing. This is his major work, the Brahmaputra. I think we all know that Brahmaputra flows in Assam only, and he was from Assam. So this was published in 2001. So he became famous by these two things which he has written, have been translated into many foreign languages. So now these two things which he has written, children, it has become so popular that it was published in many foreign languages also. Now I would like to tell you the theme of the story. Tea from Assam. So in Tea from Assam, Arup Kumar Datta described how popular tea has become as a beverage in the world. Okay, how far tea has become in the world, okay, as a beverage. So children, Tea from Assam is a very nice chapter related with tea. It's very common beverages. We all have tea in the morning and in the evening. If some guests come, then also we serve tea. So tea is very popular in India, and we all know there are a lot of tea lovers are there who drinks so many types of tea, like tea with milk, tea without milk, lemon tea, green tea, etc. So in Tea from Assam, Anup Kumar Datta described how popular tea has become as a beverage in the world. Over 80 crore cups of tea are drunk every day throughout the world. It showed the increasing popularity of tea. The lesson gives a graphic description of the sea of 10 bushes. Is stretching as far as eyes can go in Assam. So student, whenever you have chance to go to Assam, just see the beautiful tea gardens over there. The plucking of the newly sprouted leaves by groups of tea pluckers with bamboo basket on their backs are vividly described in the lesson. Okay, so now I would be telling you about the children short summary and the main points of the chapter. So for my first point is tea is very popular. So once again I repeat my word, tea is very popular beverages in the world. At every platform of railway stations you can hear vending say chai garam chai. So children, very common scenario in Indian station. You can see vendors shouting, okay, chai garam chai. So in Hindi, tea is known as chai, the very common and favorite words of all the Indians here. You can find everyone in the compartment sipping the stream of steam of hot tea. Okay, so whenever in the morning or evening, especially, it's a very common sight in the compartment of a tray, people buying and sipping the steam hot tea. Over 80 crores cups of tea are drunk every day throughout the world. So throughout the world, children, 80 crore tea cups are used every day. Lot of tea lovers are there. Now my second point is tea plantation. Okay, my second point is tea plantation. It was green everywhere. Rajveer had never seen so much greenery before. So children, Rajveer was coming in a train with his friend, and his friend was living in Assam. So for the first time he had seen that beautiful green lush green color gardens of tea everywhere. Rajveer had never seen so much greenery before. The green paddy fields gave way to tea bushes. Small tea bushes stretched as far as the eyes could see. Amid the tall, sturdy, shady trees, there were rows of tea bushes. Pranjal was born and brought up on the plantation. So he was not excited. Assam has the largest concentration of tea plantation in the whole world. Now, origin of tea. Now my third point is origin of tea. Okay, no one really knows who discovered tea. One Chinese emperor had always boiled water before drinking it. So children, there are a lot of stories related with tea, but one story is very popular, and that is about China and one of the Chinese emperor. So now I will discuss that story to you. One Chinese emperor had always boiled water before drinking it. A few leaves of the twigs burning under the pot fell into the water. It gives it a delicious flavor. So good luck or bad luck, when the water was being boiled, few twigs burning under the pot fell into the water and it gave a delicious flavor. It is said they were tea leaves. According to an Indian legend, Bodhidharma, an ancient Buddhist, cut off his eyelids because he felt sleepy during meditation. 10 tea plants grew out of his eyelids. So children, another legend is very famous, that one Buddhist person, he was doing meditation and he was feeling sleepy. So he cut his eyelids, and children, he cut off his eyelids because he felt sleepy during meditation. 10 tea plants grew out of his eyelids. The leaves of tree banished sleep. Tea was first drunk in China about 2700 BC. The word like chai and chini are from Chinese language. So children, this chai and chini, which is very popular in Chinese language, it is now very popular in India also, especially the word chai. Tea came to Europe only in the 16th century. It was drunk more as medicine than as beverage. Now my fourth point is new sprouted leaves. Tea is rarely, so children, acres upon acres of tea bushes were spread over the slopes. They were all pruned to the same height. Groups of tea pluckers with bamboo baskets on their backs were plucking the newly sprouted leaves. A tractor was pulling a traitor loads of leaves. Rajveer asked if it was the second flush of sprouting period. It lasts from May to July and yields the best tea. So children, these were the main points and the summary, and now I am going to discuss the main points of the story. So tea is really a very popular beverage in India. You can hear vendors shouting chai, garam chai at every railway station or platform. More than 80 crores of cup of tea are drunk every day throughout the world. It was green everywhere when Rajveer had never seen so much greenery before. The landscape changed and tea bushes took the place of green paddy fields. A sea of tea bushes stretched as far as the eye could go. Assam has the largest concentration of plantation in the world. Assam has the largest concentration of plantation in the world. No one really knows who discovered tea. One Chinese legend says that a few leaves of the twigs burning under the pot fell into the boiling water. One Chinese legend says that a few leaves of the twigs burning under the pot fell into the boiling water. The leaves gave it a delicious flavor. They were tea leaves. Words like chai and chini are from Chinese language. According to an Indian legend, an ancient Buddhist ascetic cut off his eyelids because he felt sleepy during meditation. 10 tea plants grew out of his eyelids. Rajveer saw acre upon acre of tea bushes, and nearly all of them were neatly pruned to the same height. Group of tea pluckers with bamboo basket on their backs were plucking newly sprouted leaves. A tractor was pulling a trailer load of leaves. Rajveer asked Pranjal's father if it was the second flush or sprouting period. The sprouting period lasts from May to July, and this period yields the best tea. Now there are two main characters in the story. One is Rajveer and the other is Pranjal. Okay, Pranjal was born and brought up on a tea plantation. He was from Assam only. He studied with Rajveer in Delhi. His father was the manager of a tea garden in Upper Assam. He invited Rajveer to visit his home and the Dekhaibai tea estate during summer vacation. He was an ardent fan of detective stories. Rajveer, he was a youngster and classmates of Pranjal in Delhi. He was excited to visit tea estate in Assam. He was invited there by Pranjal to spend summer vacation. He was an ardent fan of detective story. He enjoyed seeing magnificent view of tea bushes in Assam. His knowledge about tea and his history was profound. He had done a lot of reading about tea. He even surprised Pranjal's father with his in-depth knowledge of the subject. So children, this was the end of the main points and the summary, and now we are coming to, I'm going to read and explain the lesson. Okay, so please take out your book and open to page number 94. Okay, so I'm going to do the explanation, reading and explanation of the lesson. Okay, now, so chapter part 3 from Glimpses of India, page number 94, and this is tea from Assam. Pranjal, a youngster from Assam, is Rajveer's classmate at school in Delhi. Pranjal's father is the manager of a tea garden in Upper Assam, and Pranjal has invited Rajveer to visit his home during the summer vacation. Chai garam chai, a vendor called out in a high-pitched voice. He came up to their window and asked, "Chai Sahab." So children, Pranjal, he was a youngster from Assam, and Rajveer was his classmate in school at Delhi. And Pranjal's father, he was the manager of a tea garden in Upper Assam, and Pranjal has invited Rajveer to visit his home during the summer vacation. So now children, they were sitting in a train, and one of the vendor was shouting, "Chai, garam garam chai." A vendor called out in a high-pitched voice. Okay, so children, vendor, the person who sell the things. Okay, there's fixed shop for them. So he came up to their window and asked, "Chai sahab, give us 2 cups," Pranjal said. They sipped the steaming hot liquid. Almost everyone in their compartment was drinking tea too. Do you know that over 80 crore cups of tea are drunk every day throughout the world, Rajveer said. Now, children, they have bought 2 cups of tea. Now they were sipping the steaming hot liquid. Almost everyone in their compartment was drinking tea too. Now, Rajveer said, "Do you know that over 80 crore cups of tea are drunk every day throughout the world?" "View," explained Pranjal. "Tea really is very popular." The train pulled out of the station. Pranjal buried his nose in his detective book again. Rajveer too was an ardent fan of detective story, but at the moment he was keener on looking at the beautiful scenery. It was green everywhere. Rajveer had never seen so much greenery before. Then the soft green paddy fields gave way to tea bushes. It was a magnificent view. What is the meaning of magnificent? Grand. Okay. What is the meaning of magnificent here? Grand. So tea really is very popular. The train pulled out of the station. Pranjal buried his nose in his detective book again. Rajiv too was an ardent fan of detective story. Okay. So children, what did Rajveer said? That 80 crore cup of tea are drunk every day throughout the world. View, explained Pranjal. Tea really is very popular. And what did he told? He told tea really is very popular. The train pulled out of the station. Pranjal buried his nose in his detective book again. Rajveer too was an ardent fan of detective stories. But at the moment he was keener on looking at the beautiful scenery. So Rajveer, he was an ardent fan of detective story. Alright. And Rajveer too was an ardent fan of detective story, but at the moment he was keener on looking at the beautiful scenery. It was green everywhere. Rajveer had never seen so much greenery before. Now finally they from Delhi, they have almost reached to Assam, and Rajveer had never seen so much greenery before. He was very much excited. Then the soft green paddy fields gave way to tea bushes. It was a magnificent view against the backdrop of densely wooded hills. A sea of tea bushes stretched as far as the eye could see. Beautiful, grand view was seen and witnessed by Rajveer. Against the backdrop means background. Against the background of densely wooded hills, a sea of tea bushes stretched as far as the eyes could see. Dwarfing the tiny tea plants were tall, sturdy shade tree, and amidst the orderly rows of bushes, busily moved doll-like figures. In the distance was an ugly building with smoke billowing out of tall chimneys. Densely is thick wooded is full of forest. So you can write densely is thick, wooded is, here and wood means a small forest and wooded is full of forest. Write down the word meaning. Okay, wooded means full of forest, densely means thick, backdrop means background, magnificent means grand. Then dwarfing is dominating. Okay, so now let me explain, children. Hey, a tree garden, Rajveer cried excitedly. Pranjal, who had been born and brought up on a plantation, did not share Rajveer's excitement because that thing was very common for him. It was not a new thing for him. Now, oh, this is a tea country now, he said. Assam has the largest concentration. No, we were here. My God, here. So it was a magnificent view, children. Page number 94, the last paragraph I'm reading. It was a magnificent view against the backdrop of densely wooded hills of sea of tea. So beautiful view, beautiful, grand view. Okay, of a thickly hills which were full of forest. You can see a sea of tea bushes. That means lot and lot of tea bushes were there. It stretched as far as the eye could see. As far as his eye could see, what did he see? He saw the beautiful children plants of the tea. They were tall, sturdy, shade tree, and amidst the orderly rows of bushes. Sturdy is strong. Okay, so drafting is dominating. The tiny tea plants were tall, sturdy shade tree, and amidst means among the orderly row of bushes busily moved doll-like figures. In the distance was an ugly building with smoke billowing out of tall chimney. Billowing is puffing. Hey, a tea garden, Rajveer. Billowing is puffing out of tall chimney. So children, the sturdy, strong plants were children tall. They were covering the tiny, protecting the tiny tea plants. Rows of bushes busily moved doll-like figures. In the distance was an ugly building with smoke billowing out of tall chimneys. Hey, a tea garden, Rajveer cried excitedly. Pranjal, who had been born and brought up on a plantation, did not share Rajveer's excitement. So Pranjal, he did not share Rajveer's excitement. Oh, this is a tea country now, he said. So Rajveer explained, this is a tea country. That means this is a place which is known for tea only. Which place, children? I'm talking of Assam. Now the train has reached Assam and he was seeing the beautiful tea gardens which stretched as far as his eyes could see. So Assam has the largest concentration of plantation in the world. You will see enough garden to last you a lifetime. I have been reading so as much as I could about tea, Rajveer said. No one really knows who discovered tea, but there are many legends. What legends? So he told Rajveer told that no one really know who discovered tea, but there are many legends. What legends? Well, there is a one about the Chinese emperor who always boiled water before drinking it. One day, a few leaves of the twigs burning under the pot fell into the water, giving it a delicious flavor. It is said they were tea leaves. So he started telling a story that once upon a time a Chinese emperor was there who always boiled water before drinking. One day, a few leaves of the twigs burning under the pot fell into the water, giving it a delicious flavor. It is said they were tea leaves. Tell me, Andar, scoffed Pranjal. Now Pranjal was very much excited. Okay. So he also wanted to listen to the other story. Now let's see what is the other story told by Rajveer. So he told, we have an Indian legend to Bodhidharma, an ancient Buddhist ascetic. So an ancient Buddhist ascetic was there. Ascetic means monk. Children, the Buddhist saints were known as monk. So he was there. Okay, monk was there, and children, this is a very old story. He cut off his eyelids because he felt sleepy during meditation. So he punished himself by cutting his eyelids, and he was feeling sleepy during meditation. 10 tea plants grew out of the eyelids. Now children, where his eyelids fell, 10 tea plants grew there. The leaves of these plants, when put in a hot water and drunk, banished sleep. So children, banished is finished. So these plants, when put in hot water and drunk, banished means finished. Now children, many people believe when they feel sleepy that when they will drink a cup of tea, their sleep will go. They will not feel sleepy. So 10 tea plants grew out of the eyelids. The leaves of these plants, when put it in a hot water and drunk, banished sleep. Tea was first drunk in China. So tea was first drunk in China, Rajveer added, as far back as 2700 BC. So children, Rajveer told that it was in China and that the tea was discovered first. In fact, words such as tea, chai and chini are from Chinese. So children, these words also, chai, tea, chini is a word for tea spoken in China. Okay, so these words came from China only. Tea came to Europe only in the 16th century and was drunk more as medicine than as beverage. Now children, in Europe, it was not drunk as beverage, it was drunk as medicine. The train clattered into Marijani Station Junction. The boys collected their luggage and pushed their way to the crowded platform. Finally, children, the train has reached its destination. The train stopped at Marijani Junction. The boys collected their luggage and pushed their way to the crowded platform. Pranjal parents were waiting for them. Pranjal parents, they came to receive them. Soon they were driving towards Dekhiabari, the tea garden managed by Pranjal father. Now children, they were near, their house was near the tea garden. Okay, so they were his father's, soon they were driving toward Dekhiabari. It was a tea garden managed by Pranjal father. An hour later, the car veered sharply off the main road. Okay, an hour later, the car veered. Okay, veered means it was running in a very strange manner, in a very towards the tea garden. And an hour later, the car veered sharply off the main road. They crossed a cattle bridge and entered Dekhabai Tea Street. Now, children, soon they came from the main road. They crossed a cattle bridge and entered Dekhabadi Tea Estate. So what was the name of that tea estate? Dekhabadi. On both sides of the gravel road were acres upon acres of tea bushes, all neatly pruned to the same height. So children, what did he saw? Prune is cut off. Okay. So what scenario Rajveer had witnessed? On both sides of the gravel road were acres upon acres of tea bushes, tree plants were there, all nearly pruned to the same height. Prune means they were cut off. They were cut off into a same height. Groups of tea pluckers with bamboo basket on their backs, wearing plastic aprons, were plucking the newly sprouted leaves. Pranjal father slowed down to allow a tractor pulling a trailer load of tea leaves to pass. Now children, Pranjal's father, he slowed down his car to allow a tractor. The tractor was pulling a load of tea leaves. He passed. This is the second flush or sprouting period. Now his father told this period when the tree plants are known as the second flush or sprouting period. Isn't it, Mr. Barua? Rajveer asked. Now children, Rajveer, it seemed it had a lot of good knowledge of trees, so he asked his father that this is the second flush or sprouting period, isn't it, Mr. Barua? Rajveer asked to his friend's father. It lasts from May to July and yields the best seed, right? Rajveer had a lot of knowledge. He told that it lasts from May to July and yields the best tree. You seem to have done your homework before coming, Pranjal father said in surprise. Now Pranjal father, he told, you have done your homework. Yes, Mr. Barwa, Rajveer admitted, but I hope to learn much more while I am here. He told, though I have done, but I want to learn much more about tea from seeing, from asking from you, and from seeing. So children, with this I have completed this lesson, and in my next class, children, we will be doing the question and answer. With this I conclude my video here. Thank you and have a nice day ahead. Bye bye.